Hello everyone and welcome to another video review by Synopsis Geek. Today we're going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon a film by the name of Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow stars Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, and pretty much what the main plot is we have, well, before I say that, let me talk about a little background information on the film. It's actually based off a Japanese light novel. The Japanese light novel was actually called All You Need Is Kill, and it was by an author by the name of Hiroshi Sakura. Excuse me on the last name, it's Sakuragazaka. Anyway, so what we have with Edge of Tomorrow, it's pretty much a science fiction sort of action drama. And like I said, directed by Doug Liman. And so what we have is Tom Cruise plays a character by the name of Cage, and he's pretty much the soldier that doesn't want to be a soldier. He's actually, way up on the general mark. He's a really high officer of some regard, and now he actually has to be enlisted and go out on the battlefield. And it looks like it takes place several years in the future where aliens have invaded Earth, and now Tom Cruise's character has to get in a suit and go fight them. Though there's a little bit of a twist though, and it has sort of a Groundhog Day plot, but if you haven't seen the film, let me explain that a little bit. Pretty much, it keeps repeating the day over and over and over. He actually dies very quickly, and that's not really a spoiler, but I don't want to spoil too much. Excuse me on that if I spoiled anything. Anyways, he has to keep repeating that day over and over and over and over and over until he completes the day in the right fashion. That's pretty much the main plot for the film, the name of Edge of Tomorrow. Overall, I loved this film. This film was such a great thing. Tom Cruise did a really good job of playing this, kind of a cool concept, this soldier that he doesn't want to be a soldier, he doesn't want to go out and fight, but by the end of the film, he's really the perfect fit to save the universe, save the world, save the earth, right? So I thought Tom Cruise was really cool in it. My favorite thing about, though, is probably the overall science fiction concept, this whole concept of, having to do the day right, the whole concept of the alpha, going and find, I forget exactly what that thing was called, but going to finding that alpha alien and trying to destroy that thing, and the whole blood being transferred into him, and that whole concept. So it was a really cool, for me at least, a very high concept that I thought there was some great stuff in there. Really curious to check out that Japanese light novel. That'd be kind of cool to read. But overall, I thought just that really cool science fiction concept. There's some great action scenes in there also. Scenes with Tom Cruise just taking out the guns that are hooked up and just shooting everyone. There's also some very clever, and should I also say, some very clever and witty humor. There's some great humorous scenes, several scenes where the humor is used in a way where it's not like over, there's not like too much of it. There's a lot of humor, but there's not too much of it where it's stupid, right? A lot of the humor is used like where he has to go back in time, where like, for example, spoiler coming up, he'll roll up under a truck, the truck will run him over, he dies, and now he has to restart the day. So that's where most of the humor is used, is during scenes like that where he has to keep completing the day over and over and over and over and over. So that was some pretty solid stuff there. Overall, it's a really smart film. There's some great, as I said, some great action scenes. One of my favorite scenes probably is towards the very end of the film, probably the most pivotal moment in the film, and that is when Tom Cruise tells Emily Blunt's character, sort of the Full Metal girl. Anyways, he tells Emily Blunt's character, he says, "Hey, this is as far as you go. No matter what scenario we do, no matter how, no matter what scenario, you're gonna die either way." And that's that whole big moment where we really start to feel, we really start to feel not only for Tom Cruise's character, but you feel for Emily Blunt's character also. And no matter what he says, he can't seem to convince her. She decides to get in the helicopter anyway. So that was probably my favorite scene right there, because that's when the film really started to go from a really, really cool film to an even greater film. There's some great action scenes in there. Overall some really solid stuff. I really enjoyed that part of the film. It was just a great scene. The science fiction concept, though, as I said earlier, is probably my favorite thing about it. I'm a big fan of sci-fi. I always like science fiction concepts. So when I go into a film, I go in looking at the concept, looking at the plot, seeing what the story can do for me, and that's probably the best thing about this film, is the overall story. Just the story of this man trying to save the world, trying to get past. The aliens are also designed in a really unique way too, where you almost you get a good idea of what they look like towards the end, but before then you're kind of mixed. You don't really know. They look like they have these tentacles and stuff, and they swirl around, and it has a really crazy camera angle style too, where the camera's always jumping around. There's some great camera angles, swinging around and stuff. Overall, it's a very exciting and overall very entertaining film to watch. That's my review for the film and name of Edge of Tomorrow. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos.